Okay, so hello everyone. Hello everyone in the audience, and hello to everyone at home on the stream. At this panel today, we're going to talk a little bit about music sponsoring and what brands want. I'm Philippa Grob, I'm a creative director, and I've been working in the creative and advertising industry for more than a decade. And I'm joined today on this stage by three lovely guests, Johanna Ludley and Sarah Slater and Alexei Orlov. Maybe you can introduce yourself quickly, tell us what you do, where you're from.
Should we start from me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Alexei Orlov. I'm living in Berlin and working for Jägermeister. I'm working in the global team and in charge of music, festivals, experiential activities, events and talent programs. But originally I come from the music sector. 16 years I've been working as a musician and producer. I have my record label for 16 years. I was releasing new upcoming artists and still doing so. Just during the COVID, the time has come and I tried to look for something else, for new opportunities, and started working in Jägermeister. And that's it about me.
Great.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name's Sarah Slater. I'm the Vice President of Music and Festivals for Ticketmaster UK. So my main role is basically the conduit between our main promoter clients and festival clients within the UK and the market. So yeah, making sure they're very well looked after and just keeping everyone happy basically.
Sarah, your microphone
Oh, my
isn't
mic's
switched
on.
Just
Shall I repeat? No, everyone heard that, right? For the stream, I'm Sarah Slater. I'm the Vice President of Music and Festivals for Ticketmaster UK.
Hi everyone, I'm Johanna Ludley from Austria, based in Vienna. I'm working in PR and events since more than 20 years. I'm self-employed since more than, let's say, 10 years, and I have an agency called One We Want, where we make sponsorings and collaborations happen, and in this case today, it's the focus on influencer marketing.
Great. So, Sarah, I was wondering, because you with Ticketmaster are part of the music industry, and yet you sponsor others, like Waves Festival, for instance. So how do you choose festivals or musicians you want to sponsor, and what is the expected and desired outcome for your brand, really?
I can't speak specifically to the sponsorship with Waves, although it's an absolutely amazing festival. I'm really, really happy that I've got to come and visit. We do something similar in the UK with a festival called The Great Escape. And really for us, there's a number of reasons that we look to engage with festivals and with brands and with The Great Escape, and I presume with Waves as well, like if I was to speak to my colleagues over here. It's very much, one is brand perception. So being able to engage with those fans that are looking to identify and find new music and, you know, engage with those artists. So that's number one. It's also brand perception within the industry. At Ticketmaster, you know, we sell for everything, right? So we sell for
image transfer,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. So we sell for, you know, the grassroots clubs up to stadiums. We sell for comedy. We sell for immersive attractions. So being able to ensure that the fans that are looking for new music and looking for new artists know that we are a place to come and a place for discovery. We've got an amazing team that work across it, that work with the programmers of the festival. In the UK, this is how it works. They work with the programmers of the festival to identify those artists and who we put on the showcases. In the UK, we have a whole brand called Ticketmaster New Music, which I've seen the branding for over here, which they brought over here, which is great. And we do things like, you know, the top 10 artists of the year, which is really well received within the UK market now. It's a great indication of those artists that are going to make it big. And then the other part of it is to engage with the actual artists themselves, right? You know, there's many artists that you now see in stadiums. Like I can remember working on Ed Sheeran shows when he was doing the grassroots venues, right? I can remember working with Dua Lipa on her stuff. So it's been able to engage with those artists and grow with them throughout their careers, because then it, you know, maybe gives them a sense of loyalty. I don't know, but at least it gives you the ability to be able to grow and collect the data as well for those artists as well. So as they move from kind of the smaller venues up the routing, up to theatres, up to stadia, you're able to help those artists grow their audiences and be able to connect with those audiences.
Because a couple of minutes ago, you told me something I didn't know yet, that you kind of use this data to consult brands as well. I think that's very interesting. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, so one way that my job's twofold. So I work a lot within the touring part of the business, but I also work with all the festivals. So this is mainly within the festival market, is that we will work with our festival partners, because obviously we have access to huge amounts of data. So one, we're able to help our clients, the festivals, see what demographics are engaged with their festival brand, like who their attendees are, but also who's visiting their web pages, who's going to check them out. And then they're able to then identify brands that are cohesive within that demographic. And then we also then work with our clients to then be able to enhance their pitches to those brands. So we're able to say, hey, I can't even think of a brand of Jägermeister. We know that this festival is going to work well with your brand because your key demographics are X, Y, and Z. And we know that 90% of the audience that attends this festival are X, Y, and Z. So that's how the whole data piece works. Data's like, Alex, like, it's crucially important, right? Brands want to know that when they're putting their money into sponsorship, they're engaging with the audience that they want to engage with. And we're able to support those claims and those pitches.
But how does it work? Brands can approach you and say, hey,
Not the brands, the festivals. So they're our
okay.
clients. So the festivals will be like, because obviously sponsorship's a huge part of I can't speak to it because I'm not a festival promoter, but I would presume a huge part of their budget, their income now is coming from brands. So being able to help our clients with that data is really important to them, and it's also a great relationship builder with us as well, and something that we're able to offer that maybe some of the ticket agents can't because they collect data in different ways.
Because you were looking over to Alexei, Jägermeister really does a lot in the music segment. I mean, you guys don't only sponsor, but you also team up with artists, like you did with Post Malone in 2021. Can you tell us a little bit about Jägermeister's approach to music as a brand? Like, what is the benefits of it? What do you desire?
Initial company purpose is to create best nights today and tomorrow, and music is one of the most important ingredients there. But the cool thing is that music is the experience itself. So it has extra components like festivals, events, music platforms which can amplify this experience, because listening music alone in your headphones, yes, this is experience, but it's completely different experience when you're listening at the festival, and it's a third type of experience if you're listening at the festivals with your friends. And basically music has very positive attributes, which can be like culture, energy, relevance, which can be associated with the brand, right? And that's actually one of the reasons why we're working in the music sector. And second thing is that for sure, using our network, using synergies across the markets we have, because as the brand we have a lot of national music programs for young talents, for clubs and for festivals, sustainable programs in a few countries. Now we are on the way. We can use these synergies and support young musicians, support talents, and grow up together. And I go absolutely along what you just mentioned. We spend a lot of time and trying to create a lot of different platforms for young and upcoming artists, for those who will be known tomorrow, to grow up together with them. And we have cases like that. I think later during the conversation I can tell also about some of them.
Well, you can tell us now if you want to.
No, yeah, for sure. Now, as an example, at the current moment, within our network, we have, let's say, five active national music programs in South America. Their music plots in 6 countries. Jägermeister Music Awards. It's annual music awards which highlights important festivals, important musicians, clubs, brings them to the stage, gives them the stage, and also gives them support afterwards during the year.
But the award is initiated by Jägermeister, did I
Yes,
get that?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. In Italy, we have a beautiful project since 2017, Jägermeister Music Club. We support the goal of the project to bring musicians from all over the country to one city. Then through 10 days, they go through master classes, workshops. They learn how to make music. They produce together with well-known Italian producers, and at the end, they have a final event. And yeah, now currently we're working on the music platforms in Hungary, and Romania is going to be a music camp. We're going to collect young musicians together, bring them outside of the capital to build a kind of a real camp with them, provide them workshops, master classes, deep dive together to different music topics, bring people from Spotify, make them networking during these events. And what is the most important thing is, because basically it's quite a little bit sometimes faraway thinking when we decided that we need to learn we need to teach somebody how to make music or how to develop yourself. Yeah, because the most important thing is, in our opinion, and actually after some consumer safari we did, is for musicians to get to the stage and perform in front of the crowd. And I think this is the kind of important component of every activity, every event.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot to mention when I was talking before is that we've started doing something similar. So the list that we do every year is called the Ticketmaster Breakthrough list. I've remembered what it was called now. It left me for a short while. And this year was the first year that we actually gave them £500 each to put, I think it was £500? £1,000. It was £1,000 each to each artist to support their careers, because I agree it's so important to support these artists as they're coming through. One, because there's not a lot of money within the music industry now, especially for upcoming artists. So it's really important for us that we are supporting them financially, as well as giving them that exposure that the list gives them. We did like tube posters, we did a whole campaign around it. And that's great, right? Exposure's great, brilliant, but it's really important that they're financially supported as well.
Yeah, I agree. And if I'm an artist, how can I apply?
I can't remember, but come and see me afterwards and one of my colleagues will help you.
How is it with Jägermeister? Do you select those people, or is it like a competition and you can apply and there's a casting process? How does it work?
Yeah, exactly. I can tell. Since now we have only national music programs, but we're working on the one global platform in aim to link these programs and provide global global experience for consumer, global experience for musicians. But it's in the future. Currently, in different countries, we have these music platforms and programs, and musicians, they can apply directly there through the web page. And then they selected not by us, because we as the brand, we still the brand. We don't want to judge, and we don't want them to do something for us. There are mentors, or juries, or mentors, or influencers, exactly musicians and producers, which are well known in these countries, and they do these selections. And because on every step, on the pre-selection, on the application step, on the pre-selection step, and then on the final event, for young emerging artists, it's, I think, quite valuable that he will be heard and seen anyway by these people, by these mentors.
So Johanna, heard and seen anyway. You work with influencers, influencer marketing and PR. So I guess what you do when it comes to the music segment is mainly sponsor goods like fashion items. Am I right on that? Yeah.
Yes, you're right. As also because we are focusing on fashion, that's how we can support them. We are working really close with young up-and-coming artists, as they are assets for us as well as we are for them. So we start our relationships mostly by welcoming them in our showroom, where we have our collections, talking about them, what the act is, what the tour is they're planning. So we not only support them with one shows only, but support for a whole tour, and then go further, think with them how we can support the brand and the artist with our PR work. So we also invite them paid for, some events we do for press and other influencers to give them the audience. They also need to be present in the media.
So you're the link between the brand and the artist, but whom you're the matchmaker?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, we always suggest to our clients, it's about the local market. We are based in Vienna. We also look into the rest of Austria, but I must admit that mostly people are in Vienna, or they come to Vienna to start their careers. So yes, we're the eyes and ears in the market for our clients.
So can you tell us about like a best case you've been involved with that we can all see how it goes about?
Well, yes, besides the classic collaborations, I'd say, where we support with the outfits, we had this one collaboration with Bilderbuch. I was luckily part of back when they had their Magic Life tour. On this album, there was this song "Sneakers for Free," and they had the idea actually to collaborate with the sneakers brand and reached out to Essex, who back then was my client. And so I know maybe someone remembers. You
I
seem
do.
to remember.
It worked.
Yes, obviously. So during the whole tour, there was this huge art installation, basically consisting of white sneakers. So they've been there for the whole concert, and when the song "Sneakers for Free" came up, they started to move, and there was this light show, and it was amazing for the band and the brand, and for us as working in PR. We had also the opportunity to invite more opinion leaders there and press to get a different angle on their work.
So obviously, influencer marketing is something that has changed the market in the last couple of years. But all of you guys have been in the business for quite some while now. What do you feel like where we're heading in the future, and are there still opportunities to be seized?
I mean, from a Ticketmaster point of view, with influencer marketing, we've definitely looked to use it in other areas outside of music. I know that the team that works within theatre within the UK has done that quite a lot, because there's a lot of TikTokers that kind of do, with the Broadway dancers and all of that. That's quite easy to engage with. I think we have thought about it in music, but it's so hard to identify who is genuine, I think, and who's got that voice that you really want to connect with. I think that's important with influencer marketing, is that you get someone that's genuine and has got the real passion. There's a lot of people doing it. Yes. So a lot of people doing it. A lot of people that think they're doing it. So I think, identifying the right person for that in such a wide industry as music, I think it's going to take a little bit more thought for us. But definitely something, we were talking earlier, it's definitely the way forward. It's what young people, it's what everyone's listening to, right? TikTok, everything. So it's definitely something to consider.
And also the musicians are going to be, they're influencers as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
But do they always want to see themselves as influencers?
Content creators, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference, isn't it? And it's who you want to engage with. Do you want to engage with an actual content creator who's creating content that is engaging and that your audience is going to listen to and engage with, or are you just purely looking for some, I suppose with fashion it's a little bit different, right? Because influence means a little bit more things. You're doing that, but I think it's a bit more complicated within music.
What we also do is work with artists and ask them to really compose a song for a client that we then can use for TikTok, have then influence collaborations, and they use that song. And
I think, music and fashion has always been so combined, right? So it's a natural route. I don't quite know where the ticketing agency gets in there. Do you know what I mean? We have to be a bit more thoughtful.
Yeah, definitely. So how important is creativity or innovation if you really want to make an impact in any kind of music, marketing, sponsoring, collaboration?
I mean, I could talk a little bit. I mean, for us, really, that's another point that where we can come into it. Really, is working with our clients to be able to offer those things that engage sponsors. So, the tooling that we have, that for us, the main thing with sponsors and what we're able to do with our clients, because we're not engaging with the sponsor, it's our clients that are engaging with the sponsor, is, access to tickets. So in the UK, I'm not sure whether they have it elsewhere, and the phone company O2 have what they call O2 priority. So anyone with an O2 phone gets priority to a huge percentage of events within the UK. Certain venues have that sponsorship. So, being able, the O2, the phone brand, being able to offer their customers access to gigs, a pre-sale basically, is their main is their main sponsor tag, basically. O2 Priority is their main thing, and the access to the tickets is a incredibly important part of that. That we also work with other, like, payment providers where we offer, like, kind of, ring-fenced allocations, so they can, people can be able to get access for tickets, not just a pre-sale, but, there's like a segregated allocation for them to be able to do that. Some of the other tech stuff that we've done recently is bringing ticketing within the festival app, so going on to festivals. So we have Livum Festival in the UK, which is sponsored by TK Maxx, and Scarborough Open Air Theatre, which is sponsored by TK Maxx this year. And what we were able to do with those events, and what we're looking to do with all events really, is to bring the ticketing journey within the festival app. So basically, we know that fans check that the tickets are in their accounts up to 10 times before they actually get to the event. So if they're having to check the app to check their tickets are in there, there's more eyefall within that app space, which gives the sponsors that are sponsoring the festivals or the venues more asset space. Also enables them to connect with that audience through push notifications. So, obviously festival apps and venue apps are not a new thing, but being able to bring in the ticketing journey means there's more eyes and there's more need for the fan to download that app and to engage with it, which benefits the sponsor.
So that's direct sales.
Yeah.
Plain old direct sales. But how about image transfer?
Sorry. Image transfers?
Yeah, like if you more long-term projects.
Yeah.
Building up brands, like endorsing and building up a brand instead of like pushing direct sales quite fast.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. It's all about again just going into the whole bit that we said about engaging the right audience. If there's long-term sponsors of some of the festivals in the UK, and they will stick with it if they are getting that exposure. But it's not just about direct sales, it's about, push notifications to sign up for mailing lists, all that kind of stuff. But again, it's not up to us how the sponsor engages, it's up to the relationship that they have with our clients. So we just provide the tooling, it's up to them how they use it.
For us, creativity is crucial because everything we do must be shareable. So whenever we think of something, a collaboration, or is it an event we do, but in that case, the artist approaching must have an idea, and creative idea, or we do have it, and it's not about the actual offline event. We are more thinking about how can we translate it into the virtual world to have it then shared by, I don't know, thousands, hundreds, thousands, millions. So for us, it's a really important part.
How is it with Jägermeister?
Yeah, with creativity and innovation, for sure, it's a kind of crucial element for us. But also, I kind of divide it. Depends where you want to put this energy, creative and innovative energy. For example, at the current moment, we mainly focused on real life experiences. So we want to see people on the ground. We want to support life experiences, bring people to the event. And again, here we can also deep dive. I agree 100%. The topic of music is oversaturated a little bit, and everyone there. Recently, I visited a couple of festivals around Europe. They were not underground festivals, and even close to underground were mainstream festivals. But there was just a supermarket of different brands on one festival street, like 12 or 15 brands. I even couldn't understand what's going on there. And it's a little bit oversaturated, yes. And the same with the events. Event and festival, we have a lot on our plate. And they are also, for sure there will be a good sound system, maybe very, very good artists playing, but what else? Where we want to be focused also is experiences and events which change somehow people afterwards. Which inspire them and which kind of stay in the hearts of our audience, right? Because for sure, amongst 10 music events you visited, the one where you walked on the grass barefoot, you're going to remember a little bit longer. So that's about creativity and innovations.
Makes sense. Because we're at a music conference, and I think the audience consists mainly of people working in the industry, and they're probably really curious how to approach a brand. Like, do you have tips for everyone out there? Can you tell us what are absolute no-goes? Or do they just have to wait until they get a call?
A no-go would be for us to that we really see that it's not made for this specific brand. It's just a pitch they send out to like everyone. So it really has to be a specific deep dive approach. They must know about the brand, what their targets are, the target groups, what they are aiming, where they are present, what they are doing, and really have this idea why there is a brand fit between the artists and the brand.
Does it happen quite often that you get requests, or is it more often that you approach musicians, artists?
Well, we are connected to music talent management, and so we are always in touch with them, but more often it's that they are reaching out and ask us if they can introduce themselves.
Okay, cool. So guys, reach out. How about you, Alexei? How does it work with Jägermeister?
Well, it happens quite often that musicians and partners, festivals, they approach the brand. Luckily, I'm not getting all of the emails because we have 152 countries. And even though I would love to know the real pains of the musicians, but it would be difficult to process everything. But well, I agree 100%. That's very important to understand and share and the brand values and personalize a little bit your message. And another important thing, in my opinion, is not to force the fit. Not everything can work with.
Agree.
Yeah, everything. And for sure, now it's very important topic to what we're asking our partners. Please don't neglect sustainability. It's a highly relevant topic right now. And don't forget to evaluate the impact of our collaboration. Get the feedback, react on our feedback. That's our main principles, let's say.
Sarah?
I mean, as Ticketmaster, as a sponsor, we were very kind of selective in who we work with. We don't do it massively. It's not something that we do a lot. Like, we have Waves here and we have The Great Escape in the UK, as I said. The amount of emails that I get, I don't know, but in the UK we have like hundreds of award shows and industry events, and I do get like 168 emails going, can you sponsor my dinner? We're having a nice dinner. So that's really what we get, and we're just selective about how we do that and making sure that so that's all I can really speak to is like the sponsorship of awards shows and industry events, but we just want to make sure that we cover a large demographic of that. So, you know, we do the Women in Music Awards in the UK, we do ILMC, we do, you know, the Youth Music Awards, which is really important to us. So we, again, going back to like, we want to support the industry, right? That's what we want to give back, and and that's great that we are able to do that. It's just great that we are able to do that. But you've got to be a bit selective, otherwise you'd be at dinner every night, right? Which is not a bad thing, but just being a bit selective.
Is there anything you guys still want to share on the topic? I don't know how much time do we have left. Is there any questions from the audience? Anybody who wants to ask someone? Yeah, back there. Yeah, please. I will just repeat it.
What is the position of brands regarding the kind of political issues? How it interferes with your work? How it fits with your work with the artist? If an artist has a very active social position, how the brands look at this? I can guess, but it's very important to hear your opinion.
That was a very long question. I don't know how to repeat that. Maybe you can give her the microphone for a second.
Hi, I will try to make it shorter. So what is the position of the brands working with the artists with active position? Now the world is kind of in turbulence. So would it be a problem if to work with the artists with the active social position? That's probably the most shorter version of the question.
I mean, we would definitely look into it and discuss it with the client. I say it depends. what the opinion is and how active this person is acting in this political view.
Well, very easy, actually. How the system works in Jägermaster. We have 152 markets, and when we get a request from particular markets, first a brand manager of the country gets it, and he can then push it and share with us, and then we see if it will be supported within the national programs or global programs. And I can also give an example of some cases we evaluated from markets to global. Speaking about political, well, we don't do politics. We support culture. Yes, somebody can have a position. It's good and it's right. But if it goes very against what we bring, yeah, we for sure should check it, and we should imagine having so many markets everywhere. We have different law, right? And we also don't want to be restricted by the government as a business, for example. That's why it should be checked on different levels before we make a decision. If the position is so explicit.
Does that answer your question? Sorry? Okay.
But at the same time, I want to add, at the same time, we have a very interesting projects. You can find information about them in internet. Night Embassy is art residency, road art residency, which is traveling around the world, and we make it in different countries. This project is the focus of this project. It's not like something special because the whole company is focused on it. Is diversity, inclusivity. We work with absolutely different communities, and for sure, people there, they have different positions, right? So it's fine. It should be selected, but because we cannot, being in some country, give our brand ambassador speak against the president of this country, because it's not right, probably. And we have a second project, Save the Night, which also supports a lot of diverse communities and a lot of, yeah, which does a very big social work. So I think it can also help.
Is there any other question? No. So I think we still got some time. Is there anything else you wanna add to this topic on music sponsoring?
Well, as one of the case, yeah, because frankly speaking, as a Jägermaster brand, we do really a lot, and every day something in the music sector, and a lot of test cases, lots of musicians appreciations, and also failures, but it's still working. And one of the cases from South Africa, for example, speaking about young emerging artists, 7 or 8 years ago, there was a community, and a huge thanks to South African team for that. There was a little community and new emerging music genre, something in between soul, R&B, and deep house music. They called it Amapiano. And it was a very little community, and as the brand, we started partnering with them. We supported them to build a studio, to produce merch, to make few parties. A few years after, this community turned into a huge festival. This DJs, they got more than 2 million followers on Instagram and their social media. And now, being thankful to the brand, they travel around the world and they bring Jägermaster with them everywhere. They produce content, for example. And one of our recent campaign was Amapiano to the tour. We made a tour around Europe, and we touched some US countries with them. And last time we supported their dance floor at Afro Nation Festival in Portugal. So just how one of the local programs, local projects with musicians got evaluated to a global international project, one of the cases.
That's really cool. Johanna, can you maybe tell us of other cases that worked really well, or maybe also cases that didn't work?
Well,
Why?
I can underline working diverse is very important to us as an agency, but also to our clients, luckily. And it doesn't matter the size of their Instagram or how many fans they already have. we are really happy to start at the beginning with them, or when they just started, to like have stories like you just told, and build relationships together, because they are so worthy, and they make fun, because everyone is so into the project. There is everyone involved with creativity and motivation, and it's not just a job, it's something special. So what we also did last year was when the Aux magazine was still on air, we had this collaboration with different Austrian artists and dancers, singers, like whole mix. And
AUX was a TV format, or online TV format, featuring musicians. I don't know.
So, important information inserted now. Unfortunately, they ran out of money, so it doesn't exist anymore. It was something for the young generation that is like in Austria, I'd say, and we really miss this. And we also don't have really big YouTube accounts that you see in other nations, and so a format like that is important to us. And so what we did, we bought sections of a series from them, and supported them with not only the fashion, but had different topics so that they could be in their world. We added our world, and so it was a success stories for the TV station, for the artist and the client, and for us as well.
I suppose that's what is difficult, isn't it? It's like, how do you measure success? Like, what does success look like? And I think, like, just talking as a general person here now, not in my role, but that is quite interesting, because because you're growing from like the smaller artists to like the bigger artists. Like, is it exposure? Is it Instagram likes? Is it TikTok views these days? Like, what is it that sponsors are looking for?
Well, in that case, when we start with young artists, we don't look at sales. It's an image transfer. It's like diving into different cultures, underlining what the values of the brands are. We, of course, have to look at the numbers of the reach and the engagement they have, but we put it in relation to...
So when you say image transfer, it's like what people sharing the image of the artist in the brand and stuff, because that's what I wasn't getting earlier.
Yeah, it's more long-term marketing.
Term for me.
Yeah, maybe
New term.
it's just an English word we use in German, and we believe everybody in English understands it.
Lesson learned. New knowledge.
So yeah, any cases of image transfer with Ticketmaster now that we know?
I mean, like I said, we do, our TikTok channels in the UK have grown massively. It's a huge focus for us. We do find that focusing on the artist is extremely important. But then, again, going back to what I said earlier, like, we're not just selling music, we're selling theatre. So our strategies change with every different genre that we're selling. Music is definitely all about the artist and leading with the artist. But social is very, very strong. But and we've seen great success with the Great Escape in the UK. We've been sponsoring that for years, and our involvement in it has really grown. And from that, I mean, it's not my baby, it's someone else's, but someone else's on the teams. But I would say that from that festival did come the Ticketmaster New Music brand that we do lean very heavily on now with regards to new artists and bringing them through. From the Ticketmaster New Music.
So credibility.
From the Ticketmaster New Artist brand came the Ticketmaster Breakthrough Artist. That was just a list 2-3 years. Well, it was just a list last year. It's only in this last year that it's now got the finance behind it. So we're ever evolving in, I kind of came onto this panel more to speak about us and what we're able to do for brands and for our clients to be able to make more of an impact within the live space. Wasn't really coming on here as a brand, but I suppose we are. And I think that is ever evolving. And I think the success that we've seen in this, in the dipping the toe bit that we've done in certain areas is something that we are always continuing to look at, because the brand is important. And a good way to get the brand out there is to sponsor the right events and look after the right artists.
I don't have any more questions, to be honest, but there's a question from the audience.
Yeah, of course. We as a spirit brand, we trying not to collaborate with units which work at the same time with other spirits brands at the same in the same, let's say, shot category, because basically Jägermeister Master is consumed as a shot. That's why for us short category we want to have exclusivity there.
So when
Kind
the
of.
beer is fine.
Yeah, beer is always fine. Then I have to ask an example of this kind of brand with philosophy. Like, do you have an example?
No, nothing. It's just a general question. It's like when a festival is working already with some brands, that influences your decision to work also with that festival.
Yeah, sorry, I understood the question. Right now, nothing is coming up. But if there is something like extraordinary, like what is absolutely against us, for sure, we're gonna think if we should go there, yes or not. I just cannot remember immediately a brand which is.
Come on.
Maybe I answer, and maybe then you come up with an example. Well, also yes, from our side, we definitely look at the other brands, especially when working for a fashion client and there's already a fashion brand involved. Then mostly we don't enter it, because then you have the direct competitor in there. And one of my clients really wants to be the main sponsor. So if there's already a main sponsor in the areas, then it's also a no. So yes, we look into the whole project, if it's in terms of festival or a concert. Or
It's got to make commercial sense, right?
yes.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, speaking about only music sector, which is very specific in terms of target also, when we see us on the posters or on collaborations with festivals, etc., more or less we see the same company of brands around. I've never seen DAF, for example, next to us supporting I don't know, Ziggit Festival, for example, or Nivea.
You're giving them ideas now, though.
Maybe I can add some detail to my question. Like we had the example in the UK of Barclays Bank. They were involved in a couple of festivals, in Great Escape Festival as well. And because of their involvement in the arms industry and the conflict in Israel and Palestine, people started to boycott Great Escape Festival. Lots of artists pulled out of the festival in a very short term. Is that, for example, something that you see already coming up problems, because like Barclays now is known as a problematic sponsor, that you don't get into the festival because they are involved with them?
Here I cannot answer, because for this we have a legal department which gives regulations on this topic. Yeah.
Is there another question? Oh, yeah. Can you wait? Because I think nobody at home hears the question. That's the problem with the stream.
Hi, I guess I'll just stand here so it's easier. So a lot of you were talking about working with smaller artists and then kind of building them up. I was just wondering if there's like something specific that you look for, or like if there's a specific team or person, like point of reference, who looks at that, because like Alexi, you were mentioning with having 152 different markets, and then you have the kind of festival in South Africa. Does the team in South Africa just do that themselves without kind of looking to the rest of the company? Because obviously there's so much like bureaucracy involved. So is there kind of like some autonomy there? And I guess with like Ticketmaster as well, quite like a big company. So How does that work?
I mean, for us, with the, speaking about, the Ticketmaster New Music and the breakthrough artists, like, we're incredibly lucky that it's our colleagues. Like, we're a company that's full of music lovers and people that love going to gigs and just love the whole scene and the whole industry. So it's very much a bunch, like, not, I wouldn't even say it's a team. It's like everyone within the company. Oh my God, have you heard this artist? Like, have you seen this artist? Like, very much, maybe they've played one of our showcases. A lot of the times when we do showcases with brands, maybe we're not booking them, someone else is. But it's very much just like a team effort of just who we love. And I suppose a little bit is what's being engaged with, but it is it's very much about, we have a very engaged team within the live music industry, and they're just watching out for people all the time.
Yeah, well, we have this amount of markets, but not every market is quite active in the music sector, because somewhere we have something really, really small, somewhere something bigger. In some countries there are not like real festivals which are kind of fit to our brand music strategy, for example, because we obviously don't go to family festivals, family daytime festivals, right? And we have for sure key test markets where happening the most of things, like for example South Africa and UK and South America and Western Europe, and we have a dedicated experiential team there. These teams they're quite bigger than in rest of the countries. Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a great question, by the way. Thank you.
So is there
I
another
was wondering.
question?
Oh,
Another question?
no, I was just wondering about the Post Malone case, because I thought that was a really good one. If you maybe could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, but Post Malone was a little bit before I joined the company, but as far as I remember, that was a campaign in US with a hip-hop rapper, Post Malone. So he supported the industry during COVID, and he did the campaign with limited edition bottle, and the portion of the money which the company earned selling the bottles were donated to US Culture Association. I don't remember exactly the name of this association, but they were supporting clubs and musicians.
I think they were helping like the financial crisis through the COVID pandemic, or the nightlife that suffered of financial crisis. I thought that was a really good one because it really helps also. And
I'm just wondering how big a barrel of Jägermeister is. Like, are we talking like a keg, like small one? Like, I know we had like
300 liters.
Whoa! Someone's having a party.
Guys, I have a question here because I know you guys sponsors like festivals and stuff, but what about the artists? Because I'm a music journalist and I also work for a company called Vulcan Symbols, and we also do endorsement for artists. But I'd like to hear from you guys what the brands of you guys expect when you sign, or when the musician signs an endorsement contract with you guys. Because a lot of musicians, they think, okay, I'm going to be sponsored by so-and-so brand, and then everything is just free, and they don't have to do anything, in return. If you guys could talk a little bit about it.
what do you mean exactly?
So I can't speak to it because we don't sponsor artists directly. We just do the list. But it's more like, as a sponsor, what is the commitment that you're expecting from the artist?
How much are you getting?
Like, how, like,
Is
do you
that
mean
what you
like
mean?
what the engage, like what social posts from the artist? Like, what level of commitment are you expecting from the artist? Like, what are you expecting them to deliver?
That the artist, first of all, loves the brand. And when we meet first time, before we sign off anything, we meet with the artist, we speak about our opportunities, we probably go to a bar, or we experience one of our events, or we, in general, going for some experience together to be sure that artists love the brand, that with the artist, together with the artist, in a collaborative way, we can speak with his audience. Yeah. And yes, there are KPIs for sure, like social media reach and content, and maybe product placement and video clip if it's a band, etc. But first and the most important thing, if the artist, musician loves the brand, because based on love, on shared values, we can build something interesting, something outstanding, I would say. Yeah.
Same with us. So we define in advance what we expect from the artist, and then we hope that we really have this good relationship that the artist loves what he or she or they wear, and talk about it and share it, so it shall be really a natural relationship, not something that is forced. So this really, yeah, I'd say it's a partnership. And we don't really count the details. We really want to have this, well, win-win for everyone. But I also must say that we are talking about local, smaller artists, so it's not the global campaigns. I mean, if we're talking about that, then you have really hard contracts that define everything they have to do, including interviews, photos, whatever it is. And then they have to bring it. So that's also something that is. Yes, everyone has to. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Another question?
So how does an average package look like in your deals with artists?
Well, if it's a small artist, we give them I'd say, a couple of outfits, and they obviously wear it on stage, or in their music video, or press pictures they're taken. It depends. Whatever it is, they ask us, and that they share the images with us and share it on their socials, so that the people watching them can see where it's from.
I suppose that's where social media's changed it, right? Because before, if you were wearing an outfit on stage, like, no one would really know where you got it from. But now you can post it on socials and tag the brands. That brings that added value to it.
Yeah. That's when the artists turn into the content creators.
Yeah. Because there was a time before social media when that wouldn't have happened. It's a long time ago now, isn't it?
Yeah. You have to wait for the music paper, newspaper.
And have a big logo on the front.
Does anyone know? Yeah.
But isn't it sometimes better if they don't tag the brand for credibility? Like, don't you as a brand want to lay low? Or doesn't it matter anymore nowadays? Because we're so used to it on social media.
I'd say if the logo is big on it.
You don't need to tag
Or you've
them.
got a really identifiable brand, I suppose.
They don't have to do it all the time, but once it's more valuable if you see it, that the person wears the stuff, then it's only once, and you have this one tag that it's nothing that really has value. So if it's coming naturally in and you see it, and then people start asking in the comments below, and then you can.
That's better, right?
Yeah.
So, but do I understand it right? So basically the artist just gets the goods and no money, or is there also money in it?
Well, the smallest package is that they get the clothes, because it's expensive. They have to have a certain look and get it, and it's something we can easily support with. And then it depends on what it is, and then there's also money involved.
So do you have that's maybe a dumb question, I don't know, but is there a special unit at Jägermeister that is just there to scout artists and listen to music, or is everyone involved? Do you rely on your creative agencies maybe to tip you off? Like, how do you find the things?
I would say it's a collective work, and I wouldn't say that it's a direct responsibility of country managers, because they're busy with many other things. But basically, experiential managers, which we have in few countries, they do it also, and sometimes we align on it all together. And we don't have a special unit who is looking for new artists, because we get lots of requests, and then we if this request, these proposals, they come to us, we process them all together, or markets, they implement them by themselves on the market. Yeah, but as I said, just to add on top of this, having brand love and growing up the relationships organically, I would say that I personally saw many cases when the artists, they went above the KPI working with us. And a recent example, in June, as I said, we supported Amapiano with their dance floor to bring them to Afro Nation Festival, and festival provided them a dance floor. Artists didn't have it in KPI or in a contract, but he made his autograph session at our brand zone, and he brought a crazy amount of people there to sign up his merch, his photo, etc. But it was not in KPI, it was not in contract. He wants it.
Yeah, thank you for this interesting panel. I heard that we have to wrap it up. I thought it was really insightful. I hope everyone out there as well. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.